Hi, this is Ashton Fallon, and you are listening to the Six Wheels Disability Consulting Podcast with my friend, Matthew Shapiro.
Welcome to the Six Wheels Consulting Podcast, dialoguing disability and discussing difference, inclusion, and all abilities in today's world. Now here are your hosts, Matthew Shapiro and Bob Nolly.
Once again, come on up the steps and come on in. This is the Six Wheels Disability Consulting Podcast. Hey, it's Dr. Bob Nolly. How are you? I got Matthew Shapiro here. Matthew, say hey.
Hey, Bob. How are you, sir?
Okay. How is the busiest man in show business?
The busiest man in show business is about as busy as he can be. It was quite the crazy summer for me and for our organization. And we've got...
I want to put that in the good news column. It is in the good news column.
We've got tons and tons of things getting ready to come down the pike, and we're just very excited for the rest of 2019 and on into 2020.
So what has been at the prow of the hub of activity there?
Oh, man, what hasn't been? Let's see. I got a number of projects I can sort of talk about a little bit. We've obviously continued up with our off-season lobbying work and gearing up for the 2020 General Assembly session here in the great Commonwealth of Virginia. And so we've been meeting with, I think so far during the off-season, which was, March until now, I've met with about 10 to 12 different legislators talking about our legislative goals and what we do as an organization. And then also been working on continuing to develop our social media presence as an organization, and then also working on developing our quarterly newsletter. So that has been keeping me very busy. I have also been very busy with a number of amazing keynote opportunities. Recently I did a little lunch and learn presentation with an organization called Neofect, and they work on a really amazing device where there's a glove that individuals can wear. It's like a robotic glove, but they can wear it, and it helps them with their rehabilitation. So I met one of the founders of this amazing organization when I attended the No Barriers Summit again this summer when it was back at Lake Tahoe, California. And
wow.
So he and I sort of hit it off at this No Barriers event. And then he asked me to come to his Richmond office and speak to his Richmond staff. So I was able to do a lunch and learn with that. And then probably earlier in August 8th, I believe, I was able to deliver an amazing keynote at the Virginia the Virginia Mass Care Symposium, which was for emergency preparedness professionals all throughout the state of Virginia. And I was one of the keynote speakers for that event, and was just... Hold on, I'm gonna let the phone ring.
Yeah, that's all right. That's how busy you are.
Yes, just working so hard that the phone is just constantly ringing off the hook. But was so excited to be the keynote speaker at that event that my keynote was all about emergency preparedness for people with disabilities and the elderly population. So I gave suggestions on how to best be more inclusive to our populations in cases of emergency. And I think that's really timely right now with everything that's going on with our hurricane patterns and different things like that. So I did that. I've done my lobbying work, done some other amazing keynotes. I have amazing work getting ready to happen at the end of this month. I will be on a panel for at a conference around travel bloggers and travel writers, and they're doing a panel around diversity and travel. And so I will be representing the disability population to speak about diversity and inclusion in travel, along with somebody from the African American community and someone from the LGBTQ community. and I'm working on finalizing a memorandum of understanding to work on some consulting with an organization in Canada that I'm really excited about. And I'm also working on potentially starting to think about writing my own books. So been meeting with some potential people to help with that project, and things are shaping up really well on that front. But I also forgot to mention that pretty much for the entire month of September, I will be out of the country, and I'll be sure to have a lot to share with our amazing listeners when about my trip. I'm going to Greece and Croatia and Italy.
Wow.
Family cruise. So I will have lots to share when I get back from that amazing trip. And then when I get back from that trip, I've got about 5 or 6 other meetings already lined up for October. So
and then the holidays are here.
And then the holidays are here. So things
Happy
are just
New Year.
Yes, thank you. Things are just shaping up incredibly well for the organization here. We're still on track to reach our first profitable year in 2019. So we're very excited about that, and we're very excited about the continued growth of Six Wheels. And just if anyone wants to continue to work with our organization, please reach out. And if there's things that we can help with at Six Wheels, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to set up a meeting with you. And to do that, you can go on our website and fill out our Acuity Scheduler form that's directly on our homepage on our website. And there is a number of different topics that we can discuss. So if there's a topic that you want to discuss, whether it's lobbying or consulting work or speaking or anything else Six Wheels related, go on there and find the appointment that fits right for you and find a time that we can all get together. And I'd love to connect with you in some way, any way possible. So just really excited with what we're doing, and can't wait to share more as more projects develop with our amazing listeners, and keep this diversity conversation moving forward and helping people think differently about disability.
You know, a normal co-host would have just like jumped in a couple of times when you were running down that list of things you have underway, just to break it up and give you time to check your breath. But I think there's an impact that has to be realized of just not just how busy you are, but the depth of commitment. And yes, it is a business, because you talk about profitability, but the depth of your commitment and the work you're doing, I think, just jumps out when I hear you talk about that. You know, when I was listening, I said, I want to ask about seasonality. Is there a season of this during the year? Because I know the lobbying is, at least locally,
sure,
when the General Assembly's in session here in January. But other than that, is there a seasonality to it?
You know, that's a really good question. You know, a lot of times there's ebb and flow when conferences happen. You know, usually they happen sometime in the springtime or sometime early in the fall. So, you know, it depends on when somebody might need me for a certain conference or something. As you said, lobbying, there is some seasonality to it because it does happen in January. But with some of these like consulting projects that I work on, you know, I haven't noticed any seasonality yet. Now, granted, there is certainly ebbing and flowing when it comes to, you know, there are times when I have 4 or 5 projects, and there are times when I have no projects. So,
and you give a lot of speeches at schools. You do a lot of presentations in schools. So I guess the summer you may be, that may slack a bit.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'd love to do more of that, and I'd love to, if any of our listeners work at a school and would love to have me come to their school, you know, I'd love to do that. That's you know, I think young people, particularly kind of in the K-12 world of school, could really benefit from the messages that I have to share within my keynotes and my different speeches. And so I'm really trying to figure out ways to break into that school market even stronger than what I already do. And so, like I said, if any of our listeners work at a school and would love to have a keynote speech, again, please get in contact with me through our website, and we'll hopefully can work something out. But that's definitely something I'd like to do more of for sure.
Well, that's just great. That is just excellent. So, you know, just so people don't think you have 4 floors of offices and a high-rise tower here in the downtown RVA.
Yes.
Yeah, just tell them what your staff looks like.
Well, right now it's me, myself, and I. You know, I do most of the work as it stands right now. We are, eventually we're working towards developing some more staff members. I have an amazing sort of team of incredible. I don't want to call them volunteers because it's not that, but they don't ask for a lot, but they have helped sort of keep the ship afloat. But most of the work is done by me, myself, and I. My mom is my CFO, and we're a small team right now, but eventually I'd love to be able to hire more folks with disabilities to be part of the Six Wheels team, and to help with this mission of thinking about inclusion and thinking differently about disability. So
yeah, by the time our audience hears this discussion that we're doing right now, they will have already met some of your staff of volunteers and contributors, I'll call them.
Yes, we're trying to do some exciting things on the website, and those will be coming out here very shortly. To highlight all of our amazing volunteers and contributors and people that are within my inner circle of Six Wheels. So keep an eye out for that on our website as those things continue to unfold. And if anyone's interested in working with us, we'd love to have more people in our team. So again, this is something that is a long-term play. I'd love to be able to eventually, at some point, hire more individuals to be part of the team on a paid basis. But we're just not in a position right now to be able to do that. But we're positively and steadily and amazingly making great positive strides towards that. And that is a long-term goal, along with at some point maybe one day having an office. Maybe not a huge office space, but who knows? We'll see.
Good morning, Mr. Shapiro.
Yes, exactly. I would love a secretary and all of that. It would make my life so much easier. But hey, I love what I do, and I love waking up every day with the challenge of trying to make this work grow. And we're making strides, and I can't wait to see what the next last quarter of 2019 on into 2020 looks like, and we can keep making those positive strides.
So, I guess that after that, I'm just exhausted listening to you. You're ready for vacation.
I think so. I'm excited about our trip. And like I said, we'll have a lot more to share about that trip when we get back. I'm slightly bummed that I'll be missing the beginning of football season. For those of our listeners that know me, they know I'm quite the sports nerd. So I'll be missing the first handful of games for UVA football and Redskins football. But I think if our listeners, knew I was going to Italy and Greece and Croatia, they would tell me you'll be fine. You'll be fine without football. But
you can set your fantasy lineup from anywhere in the world.
Yes, exactly. My lineups will be set and we'll be good to go. But I'm really looking forward to the trip. I plan on doing a lot of reading, a lot of writing, and a lot of research too, because I'm always so intrigued by how other countries deal with disability and inclusion work, and I'm always curious to see how accessible these other countries are. And in my my recent other travels overseas, I have found that other countries tend to do a lot more from an accessibility standpoint than we do here in the United States. So I'm always just really excited to see what cool, awesome, innovative tools they incorporate to make their spaces more inclusive and disability friendly and awesome. Because I'm always taking pictures and there's some cool stuff over in the other part of the world.
Well, I tell you, it's no surprise to me. It sounds like you just described a plan to work very hard while you're on vacation. But I know you will take a moment to unplug, if you will, and relax, enjoy the time with your family, and absorb the cultures and the lands you visit.
Sure.
I'm hoisting a glass to you now, wishing you the best. Bon voyage, my friend.
Thank you, kind sir. I will, like I said, be sure to share with our listeners when we get back. And I'll have lots of amazing stories to share for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to the Six Wheels Disability Consulting Podcast. For your host, Matthew Shapiro, this is Bob Nolly. Keep rolling forward. And in conclusion, talk to you again soon.
Thanks, everybody.